What's up, everybody? Todd, Margolis, Potomac MMA. So I want to go over some concepts with you tonight, and then have somebody come over tomorrow. We're going to do some technique. I'm really going to delve in and show you exactly how the Margolis shrimp works, why it works. But tonight, I want you to be able to visualize, use your brain. I'm going to do some things by myself, and we're going to try to expand our minds a little bit, let you be a little bit creative, and then tomorrow we'll come in and we'll try to solve some of the questions that you may have. So, interestingly though, I did want to point out that I was talking about some of my concepts, and when YouTube came out, it wasn't there when I started. And I started going back and looking at high-level guys and looking for patterns as to what they were doing. And one of the guys I really enjoyed watching was Marcelo Garcia. And Marcelo Garcia, as everybody knows, is a lot smaller than obviously the big guy. So he was fighting in middleweight, and I don't think he was cutting any weight to get there. And one of the things that he did really well is he waited for people to pick their head off the mat. And so when he choked Alexandre Ribeiro from the back, and Alexandre had his head here, and I think his brother started to talk to him, and he lifted his head, and that's when he went for the choke. He was real patient, and I said, man, look at that. That's when he lifted his head, and that, from watching a bunch of his tapes, I realized that keeping your head planted on the mat was so very critical. So I wanted to give him that shout out for that. Never told him that, never had a chance to speak to him about it, but thank you for that. Going to go over some other things that I got from watching other guys in the next few days, like Hodger Gracie, and he did some really cool things that finally when YouTube came out and I could go back and watch the matches, then I could pinpoint, you know, what angles and different things that they're going to do, and I'm going to go over with you guys those things over the next week. So, from the shrimp, a lot of people, you know, when you bridge, that's fine. You have a bridge. One thing I talk about is active feet. If you were ever in any of my classes, we want to have active feet. I never like my feet just sitting on the ground. It's one thing if I'm just inside here, I can have it on the ground, but as soon as the guy's anywhere near me, I want to try to have active feet as much as possible. So with that concept in mind, if I'm in, if someone's mounted on me, I want to have active feet. I don't just want my feet in here. So I always have my feet up. One, it loosens my hips up. And if they're pinching tightly on me, this starts to create a little bit of space. Then when I go to bridge, I have to plant my feet on the ground. Now, a lot of mount escapes that you see where people actually do a bridge, or they'll do a bridge and they'll push the guy up, and then they start sliding underneath of the guy. What I don't see being taken into account is the fact that the guy can dismount. Nobody's addressing the dismount. And the Margolis shrimp is so well thought out that it addresses every possible thing that the person can do. So, for example, if I'm here and the guy has a good bridge and I feel, but his feet are planted on the ground, the first thing I do is just windshield wiper to knee on belly. Guy bridges, boom, we just jump off. There's nothing stopping it. It's the same concept as if when I'm here and the guy goes to bridge, I can shoot across the mount. The exact same concept. If I can shoot across the mount when he bridges, I can dismount when he bridges. Okay, so that's why in the Margolis shrimp, I was getting to here when I first started developing it, but people were dismounting. So then I said, you know what, I have to bridge and bring one leg up. And when this one leg comes up, what it does is it actually bumps your opponent forward. It bumps him forward while my hands are pushing his hips down. So my hands are pushing his hips down, but the knee is keeping his weight forward. It's very hard to step a leg off when you're pushed forward and this hand is on the mat. This is a hard step. You cannot do it tightly. If they do try to step off, you're going to be able to get them back in the guard. They're not going to be able to step off to side control. And that's a really big difference. So I want you just conceptually to think about that. That's why this foot has to come up on the side. Bridge, foot comes up. Immediately. Bridge, foot comes up. Bridge, foot comes up. In order for that balance point to be there, that's why that knee has to come to the ground. Otherwise, if my knee's off the ground, this is so hard to balance. Bridge, knee drops, foot comes up. Hands pushing down. Where's my head? I'm looking behind me. If I'm here, he can just scrunch me. Maybe I can invert Maybe I can't, but when my head goes back, I look behind me, I'm strong. I have a ton of strength in my structure. Now, if he tries to push to the other side, bridge to the other side, bridge to the other side. I guarantee you're going to get out, but you're not going to get out and have him just jump to side mount, have face pressure because he got underneath your head, and then either take your back or mount you again. We're not trying to get out to a equally bad position. We're trying to get out and score. And the Margolis shrimp is the only way, the most effective way to do that. And we're going to go over that tomorrow in depth. I'll see you on the mat. God bless.